Hey there, everybody. Working on a Jeep I wound up a couple weeks ago. Did some trading on it. It's I believe a 48 CJ2A. It presents itself very nice. The gentleman I got it from, did the trading with, he had a stack of receipts with it, and he's like, I've never really went through the stack of receipts, so I'm not sure what's there. So I went through the stack of receipts that came in the folder, and this is a new tub. New front fenders, I believe a new hood, and some other stuff. So I was looking at it when I initially got it, and I was like, man, somebody did some really good body work, because you can barely see any of the holes and stuff that would normally be on these from snaps or doors or other stuff, you know, that's happened since 1948 that people add to these Jeeps, whether it's to enhance their performance or their appearance. So today I have a transmission leak, and I've already crawled up underneath it, and the gasket is misplaced on the top of the tower. It's pinched off to one side. So what I'm going to do is we're going to pull the floor pan out of this thing, or I'm going to pull the floor, because there is no we pull the floor pan out of this thing, pop the top cover and see what's going on in the transmission and reseal it, and then go from there. This does have, I ran the block numbers on it. It is, thought it was a 225 odd fires, kind of the way it was advertised, but it is not. It's a 78 Regal 231 Buick V6 that has a aftermarket intake and carb on, a little bit of a dress-up kit on it, and it's very, very spunky for what it is. Has these exhaust manifolds on it. They kind of look like a log type header. Maybe somebody can comment below. There was a receipt on them, and this side looks like just like a regular manifold, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know a lot about the V6s. I do know a 231 with a little bit of massaging. They run pretty good. As you can see, this one has an HEI distributor in it and everything, which would have been common in 78. Not sure what's done to the internals. This does have a 3-speed transmission. We're going to find out exactly which one when we pull the cover, because who knows with the V6 in it. Does have overdrive and has 18 transfer case. It is a 41 rear steel. It's got the lemon drop cover on it. I know some of you have issues between identifying 44s and 41s. If you notice, the 41 looks like a lemon drop. 44 is more square. Does have the stock 25 front end, and it appears to have a small lift on it. It has been converted to disc brake up front, and there was something else that I found that was kind of cool. It's got a Volvo steering box on it. I have seen some online stuff in the forums about the Volvo conversion, but not really a lot of pictures of them. I will say, for a manual steering box, it does steer pretty nice, even with these 33 1250s on it. So the plan is with this, I'm going to pull the front bumper off. We're going to go with I'm going to go with the stock bumper. Probably pull the roll cage out, cut it down to where it's just a hoop behind the back, cut all these bars out, speaker pods, overhead radio deal, and just make it a rear behind the seat type hoop with these coming back, kicking back. I'm going to sell the wheels and tires. I've got some narrow 16-inch stock wheelie rims outside, or wheels, some of you call them. Then I'm going to get some like 33-inch narrow tall 16s for it. Going to pull this rear bumper off, put on my other Jeep for the swing out tire carrier. Probably modify this hitch. It hangs down a little too low for my liking, and then we'll go from there. So the goal is with this is to kind of make it look like a stock Jeep. Willys. Somebody's already notched the fender wells on this. Got to do something different with the seat bracketry on this. It did have like a set of Corbeau Mastercraft beard style seats in this. I put in my other one because it's more comfortable for me. But yeah, that's what we're doing today. All right, we have the trans cover moved. We got the shifter knob off. We have the overdrive bracket removed from the top of the shift tower. As you can see, it's kind of wet down there. It was leaving huge puddles underneath it. What it was doing is the fluid was, gear oil was moving around with the gears and sloshing, and the gasket is not sealed at the top. So here in a minute, I'm going to pull the shifting tower. We're going to look down inside this transmission and see what's going on. See if it represents the rest of the Jeep, if it's what I suspect a total frame off rotisserie type restoration, because if you look up underneath this thing, I haven't wiped it down, it's painted just like the top. Frame's been done and everything. So, very nice Jeep. Somebody did some pretty cool work. Alright, got the tower off. Everything looks pretty good down there. The couple of tower bolts were loose, finger tight. Here's the gasket, and that's why it was leaking. You can see it's off to one side. That's the way it was pinched on there. And then part of an old gasket was not scraped off the top of the transmission. So, gonna clean this up, and I don't have a gasket. I don't know why I keep saying we. I don't have a gasket. This is super thin. I might either see if I have some gasket material to make one, or might just do, I know I'm gonna say it, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, I wouldn't do that, but probably some RTV silicone. Usually what I do is I put it on and then let it set up, because RTV stands for room temperature vulcanization, and let it get kind of where it's not soft and pudgy, so when you bolt it down, you don't squeeze over and have those silicone runs on the inside of stuff. So, yeah. And then if anybody has, looks like it's a T90A is what this thing is. I was wondering if it was a C. It does have this cool bracket that goes on the back that somebody made, or maybe it's aftermarket, so you can hook up reverse lights. So I'm going to take advantage of that later and run a hot wire to it and run reverse lights on it. Why? Because I don't know. I like lights. But yeah. So gonna clean this up, get it back together, and hopefully back on there, and hopefully no more leaks. All right, got the shift tower plate back on. Used gasket and a tube to seal her up. Shift knobs back on. Gonna go for a test drive later if it's not raining. And if it is, just put a rain jacket on and see if it's leaking anymore. I'm pretty sure that was the only issue on it. Everything else looks very clean underneath. Just kind of giving a brief overlook of this thing. Very clean Jeep. There's some cool stuff done. There's some other stuff that maybe somebody was distracted or rushed. So, hey, everybody have a great day. Alright, so after the test drive, let's see if we got any leaks on the transmission. Actually, kind of quit raining a little bit. We'll park this thing and let it set, and then we'll see what's left on the ground. That one leaks just water because everything's dried out now. But hopefully got the transmission sealed, and this is a done deal and a driver.